Hello everybody and welcome back to Fenton Forest Farm with me, CWATTYESO, here in Farming Simulator 19 on what is the brand new, updated version 1.3 version of the map. Now, before everyone obviously starts to get overexcited in the comments, I am aware that Stevie has released a version 1.31 version of the map, because he was having some issues with the animals, and that on some people's systems, on some people's games, the animals would crash if you tried to go into the animals screen in the menu, specifically with cows. But I'll just show you quickly. I'm not having any issues. I can go into all the pens, just run around quickly and show you this just to prove I'm not talking rubbish. All the animals, I can click on all the animals. I don't get a crash. I can select them all. If I go into the menu screen for the animals, I can click on every single animal and I don't get a crash. Nothing. All is fine. So I'm not going to update the map again, because I spent a lot of time yesterday transferring across a lot of my data from the XML files to the new XML files. There obviously are quite a few changes to this map and stuff that isn't save game compatible, hence why Stevie says you have to start a new save. But there's obviously certain things that I can't copy across with me XML editing and stuff, like the fact that obviously in the last area I completely terraformed all this area and redone it all and expanded it. I chucked in greenhouses. I got loads of greenhouses and beehives. I put a new road in, so you could basically come out to the main farm entrance over here and get into the farm this way and get in around the cows and the animal area and stuff without too much of an issue. I'm going to have to do all that again as the Let's Play goes on, because that is something sadly that you can't bring into basically what I had to do. I had to start a whole brand new save on this map, load into game, save the game, and then go back out of the game, open up Notepad++ and copy the data from my save game 3 folder, which is the old version of the Fenton Forest map, and paste various bits and pieces of data into the save game 2, which is the new version of the map, the 1.3 version, and then load back into game here and have as much information as I could copy. The items XML file, which contains a lot of stuff, was a bit more difficult to interact with. I wasn't as confident trying to copy across. I got the animals, which was the most important thing, but obviously I've lost my stacks of straw bales and hay bales that I had in this area for feeding them. But that's not going to be too difficult. We're going to be able to get that back fairly soon. I just need to turn the timescale down, I remembered. Because starting the new map, the field states have obviously reverted back to how they are when you first start the game. So obviously we have wheat on field 1, not the crop that I had sown and was growing in the last episode. We've got barley on field 2, we've got oats on field 3, canola on field 5, we've got corn on field 6, which was a field that I'd just bought in the last video. So I've got the same fields, I've bought all the same fields, and they're not a problem. Got soybeans on field 7, got sugar beet on field 10, which is obviously not quite right because that's my grass field, for making square bales of grass and that to sell. And then obviously they've got potatoes on field 9, which is going to be an absolute joy for me to harvest when we get round to it, because I'm going to have to drive my potato harvester all the way up to here. That's going to be fun. As you can see, the good thing is he broke away the placeables from the big field on the outside of the map here. So the placeable areas around the map are purchasable. So 43,000 for those 4 pieces, 5 pieces, or whatever, however many pieces of land it is, that you can then use to place vehicles and sheds and your placeables and stuff. So that's one of the changes in 1.3 that he's implemented. And then there's a few new things around the farm, the main farm area. Noticeably, he's put in the his 2 of his greenhouses from his greenhouse mods. So those come already in the map. You don't have to buy them and place them. They start there. He's also got this digester that he's put here in the farm. Now, it's weird. Obviously, I've done a lot of videos on Fenton Forest, the first version of the map. And this area here, obviously where your tractors spawn and reset to when you reset them. What I can't remember is what was in this area before, because this area between this shed, the horse manure place, and this shed over here, this area seems a lot bigger. So I'm wondering whether he's kind of shuffled things and moved things about, because he did completely rebuild the map again. He hasn't just changed a few things in the XML to make it patch 1.3 compatible. He did a complete rebuild of the map from the base up again, which is just unbelievable to think the amount of work that must have took him, and how obviously dedicated Stevie is to his craft. Obviously the hay barn is still the same, and obviously the buildings over here are all the same. Silo is still the same, with obviously supply point, your farm supplies, and then obviously your main silo out. Still got the fake car there. Obviously got our piggies. Now he has changed the way the manure spawns because of Giant's decision in patch 1.3 to make it so that the manure spawns only down the right hand side of the pen. He's changed it so it starts spawning at the back of the pen and moves forward. I think that looks a lot better. I think that's a lot more realistic and a better implementation than the way Giants have done it. So congratulations to Stevie for that. Obviously our manure silo is exactly the same. That's not changed. He's not done any changes here. He has done some changes up to the BGA, which I'll go and show you very briefly in a moment. I do need to give the sheep some water though. Otherwise they're going to start complaining. Now, vehicle wise, I was having some issues with the vehicles XML due to basically the train system and the fact that the trains are part of the vehicle XML file. So when I copied across the XML file from my previous save, the game broke. It wouldn't let me because it was messing up the ID numbers for the trains and causing an issue there. So I had to restore the original vehicle XML to get the map to work. So the only way to get all my vehicles back was to basically sell off all the basic vanilla vehicles, edit my money amount so I could buy all the vehicles in the same configuration that I had in the last Let's Play. And then once I was happy with the fleet and the vehicles, and I dragged them around to the right placeable areas. Like for example, I've just brought this over here quickly. I've got my hook lift tanker, I've got my normal tank, universal tank for watering, I've got that for obviously my slurry and digestate. Got the conveyor for the cows. Didn't bother replacing the conveyor for the horses. I think the horses I'm going to empty with the bucket and the telehandler. Give me something to do. Obviously, sold the pressure washer and placed it back where it was. Got my truck with the extra beacons on the top. Not that I ever use it. Put the heating plant back in where I had it set up previously. Although, one thing I have noticed on this version of the map, Stevie's placed some fake trees as decoration which you can't move and get rid of, so that's a little bit annoying. That's probably going to bother a lot of people during the Let's Play, because it's just an odd random tree that's there that you can't get rid of. Right in front of where I wanted the heating plant, but I couldn't move it over this way anymore unless I took out that tree. And I didn't want to potentially put it too close to the greenhouses, because obviously don't want to mess up with the triggers there. Haven't terraformed the land underneath the heating plant yet to create the little ramp that I need to be able to get to the trigger point, but I will probably do that. But let's have a quick run round, because obviously the equipment, because of the way I had to do the equipment, spawning it in and stuff, and the fact I couldn't use my original XML file from the last video, there is a few little changes to the equipment in the fleet that I've taken the advantage to do, which I use the excuse that because of the inconvenience I've had having to download a new map version, start a new save, and then go through time copying XML details and stuff, I spent a lot of hours yesterday afternoon, which was Saturday for me, Saturday the 23rd of March. I spent pretty much all afternoon, most of the evening, getting this save ready to play. So we've got obviously the John Deere Stevie's front loader, which is the same as the one we had. I've got the new pallet and bale forks, the ones which are, you can adjust the actual width of the tines. Obviously we've got the Brooks, which we had anyway, which may get some use. Got our bale wrapper. The only difference is obviously now it's in the John Deere green colours. I've got myself a little Joskin Transpace trailer to act as a secondary trailer, because if you remember, if you've been watching the series, you'll know the only trailer I'd got was the Hyperion, and then I had an auger wagon, and I do need something kind of in between, especially when we're doing like multiple harvesting. The cotton harvester, that is exactly the same, that's not changed. Stevie's harvester. Our Panther 2 is here, and obviously our Tiger 6XL. So potato harvester, sugar beet harvester, nothing's changed there. Seed runner for loading seeders and planters in the fields. Gone for that because I was having issues with the auger wagons. Obviously we've got our square baler. Now in obviously the previous videos I had the New Holland big baler. I've decided to keep the Kun baler that Stevie intended us to start with this time round, but again I've put it into the John Deere green and yellow. I've got the round baler with the obviously wrapper excuse me, which again John Deere green and yellow. Decided to go for a green and yellow theme on all this equipment in this shed. Got the John Deere trailer as opposed to the Crone. I've replaced the Crone with the John Deere this time round. Makes no other difference really, exactly the same, it's just a loading wagon. The only thing I need to check, which I didn't check when I bought it, that's okay, it accepts the same fill types. Sometimes when you look at obviously normal trailers like the Joskin outside, they have different fill types, and sometimes you can end up with different options. Our square bale stacker, Same, exactly the same. Stevie's square bale stacker, but again in the John Deere green and yellow. Sadly, couldn't change the top bits to make them yellow. Not an option. Got Alfalfa's round bale stacker, which obviously does the 3 rows of bales, so that allows me to pick up 18 round bales. Got the Hibiscus windrower, again green and yellow for the John Deere colours. Then got the Pottinger Tedder, so that's not changed. And then obviously we've got the Krone Big M mower that Stevie gives us, and again it's in the correct colours. We've got a John Deere 8R, which is exactly the same as the one we had. That's not changed. We now have the John Deere 7R. That's a new addition. That wasn't in the, obviously, previous episode going forward, but there's a reason for that, why I've got that in there, which I'll talk about in a little while. And then obviously the 6R that we had previously as well. We've got obviously our JCB Fast Track. That's not changed. That's exactly the same. That's basically our utility tractor, basically for feeding the animals and driving around the farm and stuff like that. I honestly don't know why I bothered keeping the pickup truck, really, because don't need it. In here we've got obviously the Kazar header and New Holland harvester. That's not changed. The Strautmann Hyperion trailer, not changed. Here's a change. We've got the Great Plains Cedar now, by Stevie, as opposed to the Condor. It's a little bit bigger. This is obviously 18 meters. The Condor was 15. I figured, as I've got to replace them, I might as well, if I'm starting from scratch, I'm going to have the Great Plains this time. Now we're at a stage where we've upgraded the farm and got more fields. I then decided that as I was starting from scratch, I was actually not going to bother with the Fenton tractors. I decided we'd keep the green tractors, the green theme for the John Deere's only get to be green. So we're not going to have any other green tractors on this farm going forward. So I replaced the fence, took the option to replace the fence with a New Holland, which I've done in the same colour scheme as the harvester, to keep all the New Hollands consistently themed. So we've got a T7, which replaces the Fenton 900. We've got a T8, which replaces the Fenton 1000. We saw this in the last video anyway. We've got the New Holland T9 with the this replaces the Fenton MT1, which I didn't really like too much. You'll notice I don't have the class tractor, and that is kind of why I've got the John Deere 7R. I decided not to bother with the class tractor at this point. I may go back and buy it later on in the series for, again, doing like the silage rolling and compacting and stuff, but I decided one class tractor kind of was out of keeping with the rest of the vehicles on the farm. It was a bit odd, and I put it in the Fenton colour schemes to try and make it look like a Fenton, to blend in with the other Fenton tractors I'd got, and it wasn't right. So I went for the New Holland, basically. I mean, I may even add at some point. We've got I've got the T7, got the T8, got this T9 here. I might add a regular T9 with regular wheels. That could also be an option for me going forward to fit in with the to do the silage compacting and stuff like that. Give it some big meaty weighted tyres on it. The truck and trailer hasn't changed. That's exactly the same as the one we had previously, as is obviously the New Holland Traper header. Round here we've obviously got the Vaderstat planter. That's not changed. The Joker cultivator, that's not changed. The plough platinum, 8 metre plough, and then obviously the John Deere that I bought fairly recently in the series. got those here, got those placed. Over here we've got our Strautmann manure spreader, got our premium integral manure, slurry and digestate spreader. Obviously still got the Bradle for the lime spreading. We've got the little auger wagon, which is useful for, again, feeding animals around the farm. And that's basically the vehicle fleet. Now, obviously, because of the changes to the map and the fact that obviously terraforming changes have been undone, and a lot of the placeables like my greenhouses and stuff that I put down have been basically undone and removed, and obviously I spent good money on those, and I can't put them back into the map yet until obviously I go through and cut down all the trees. That's kind of why I've substituted those placeables and the money I spent on adding some additional bits of equipment. Like I say, the Joskin trailer, I've got that as a part of a substitute, especially because I put in a wind turbine, which was obviously very expensive, and I don't get the cash back for that. So I went for the Joskin trailer as a bit of an additional bonus bit of kit. The telehandler is exactly the same. It's still the Manitou, same bucket and everything. Same pallet forks. I think the bale forks I put over here are the no collision bale forks, and then I've got the obviously no collision pallets. And then I bought myself the another Strautmann, but this is the pig food one. This one does pig food mixing, because obviously I'm running the pig food mod, and obviously in the last video I'd got a pig food silo here, which is obviously also gone, and obviously I've lost the money for that, and obviously for terrain altering and editing. So I've replaced, because I can't put that back in yet until obviously I do something about the trees, I've decided to go for a pig food mixer to be able to make me pig food. Works exactly the same as the TMR mixer for the cows. You get in, you put your menu on, it tells you that you need like canola, wheat, soybeans and some potatoes, and that makes your pig food. Because obviously you don't, apart from potatoes, you don't give canola, wheat and stuff like that to the pigs anymore. They don't accept it. They require pig food, corn and potatoes and sugar beets. So I need to mix up some pig food. I need to get that done. But what we'll do now is we'll have a trip up to the BGA, because he's made some changes up here. So we'll visit the BGA. So again, nothing seems to have changed here. Still got your silo when you drive in. And obviously you get your digestate out here. All looks the same. We turn around and oh my god lord, we have a shed, a vehicle shed. Parking vehicles and tools and equipment in here, which is very, very nice. And then we've got big silo clamp, big silo clamp, big silo clamp, and a big silo clamp. Now, unfortunately, he has gone right up to the fence, which obviously for me and the courseplay courses that I've created for bringing slurry to the farm, slurry to the BGA, and then obviously taking me digestate back to the farm, I'm now going to have to re-record those courses, because I think there's probably going to be some issues with vehicles running into these silage clamps. So I'm going to have to re-record those courses at some point. It's also made it a little bit trickier, because now when you come in here, obviously you fill your digestate, you've got to come out from there, and then you've got to turn quite sharply to avoid going over the sail trigger, but getting out here to get to obviously the exit. Unless I run the, like I say, the reverse way, come in like I do with my current course where I drive over here with an empty trailer, load up the digestate. But the sale point one, that's going to be interesting because obviously you come in this way, you're going to be emptying your slurry in here. You've got to drive out a couple of waypoints, a couple of markers with course play, and then I'm going to have to do a real tight about turn to drive down here and down here to get back out onto the main road. That's so I'm going to have to re-record those two courses. My other courses I believe are perfectly fine because they were the loading and unloading courses for trucks should be fine. My mowing courses should be fine-ish. Again though, I'm going to have to remove trees, aren't I? Because I removed a lot of trees to be able to do extended mowing. Like all the trees down here are going to have to go to the left of me so that the mower can do its extended wide about turns. I've obviously got rid of all the trees between fields 8 and field 1. So all these are going to have to go. And then I'm going to get rid of the trees again down the side here that just cause a little bit of a clipping issue with the workers who just react a little bit aggressively towards the collisions on the trees. So I'm going to take them back, some of these trees out. Take some of the trees out down here again because obviously I had unloading courses running through here. And then obviously I'm going to need to take out the trees that I took out in this area and all the way down this sort of way to field 2. I'm obviously going to have to go down, take out the trees, some trees down the side here. So the trucks have got plenty of room to drive their unload courses. Again, take out trees in this area. Take out trees down the edge here as well that were kind of in the way for running the unload courses. If I did any mowing. Again, take out trees in this area here. Need to be took out. And again, trees down here. They're a little bit too close to some areas. And again, take out trees down here that are kind of, again, where my trucks drive their unload courses. Got my lime station re-added for filling up lime down here. Take out a few trees in this area potentially. That one. That one. Maybe a couple down just along here where again, just so my trucks don't crash into them. So there's going to be some stuff again that we're going to have to recover, retread as the series goes forward from this point. Obviously, one of the things I need to do very quickly is get these fields harvested because they do need to be harvested. And then obviously I need to go back and look at episode 40, see what I had got planted and where we was going next with the types of crops. And make sure I get those then seeded and planted going forward. So yeah, I need to get the harvesting done on these, but that'll be for the next episode. This is just obviously a video showcasing the first look at the updated version of the map, and obviously I haven't got me big spotlights reinstalled on here yet. I will probably, I don't know if I'm going to add them back in or not, really, because I don't really drive around at night and don't record at night, so it's not really probably needed anymore. Because I tend to keep me farming and my videos to the daytime only. But yeah, I'll have to have a look and see. We'll see how things go when I start obviously getting into the playing of the series going forward. See how things have maybe changed. Like I say, I don't suppose my play courses are in any danger. Me unload, I don't think he's moved the silo positions or anything like that. I just wonder what was in this area originally. Was it just trees? Because this area does seem a lot bigger. Especially down here. This seemed like a huge area. And I can't remember if there was anything else in here or what he's done, whether he's moved stuff this way and maybe he's made field too small, or I don't know. Because to put that digester in, I'm not entirely sure how he got the room for that. I really don't. It's weird. You would think I would know straight away with the amount of time I've spent in this series so far, but yeah, I don't. I know this area looks the same, but I always thought this was you come through here with your refill, your tractors, and I could have sworn that shed was more this way. I don't know. I'll go back and watch a video and compare. That's what I think I'll do. But anyway, I just wanted to give you this first look update video on the fact that I have updated to version 1.3. I'm not having any crashes or issues with the animals, so I'm not updating to version 1.31, especially not after spending all the hours I have done with the XMLs. Basically, the only difference between, I think, this map, 1.3, and 1.31 is Stevie has removed his animal pens. All his custom animal pens, like these, the sheep, the cows, the horses, and he's just put normal Giants ones in, which you can sell if you want to. I think they are sellable. He's made it. But I kind of like Stevie's versions. They match the rest of the farm that he's constructed. So because I'm not having issues, I'm going to keep them as they are. So yes, my map will look very different from other people who download this map going forward and start trying to play this, because as I say, they're going to just have the regular Giants horse pens, cow barn pens and stuff. So but it's a weird thing, because like I say, some people reported they were crashing. Stevie was having crashes. I'm not having any crashes with the animals. I can go into the animal screen, interact with all the animals perfectly fine. Whether that's because I've copied across the data from my old save and that makes it work, I don't know. I'm not sure how these things work under the hood and that much, but everything seems to be okay. So when we come back for the next episode in the series, which will be an actual proper Let's Play episode, we'll be getting started on the actual farm again, doing the farming work and putting a lot of this stuff through its paces for the first time. So for now, from the Fenton Forest Farm version 1.3, I've been CWATTYESO. I hope you'll go ahead, click the like button if you've enjoyed the video and enjoyed this little new look map tour. The farming, as I say, will continue. Normal service will be resumed in the next episode. So feel free to leave any questions, comments, suggestions in the section down below. If you've got any subscriber contracts, task requests, now is definitely the time to post them, as we're going to be needing to redo all the fields and get new stuff planted and growing on them. So now's your chance to be immortalised as a subscriber task person, in which case you will then also join the elite group, currently only occupied by Helgetus, in having a horse named after you. Because he's the only person that's left me subscriber contracts or tasks yet, and we're 40 odd episodes into this series. So of course, if you're new to the channel, you're new to the video, and you've not been following the series, all the way through, now's the time to hit that subscribe button. Go ahead, do that, subscribe to the channel, and then go back and watch the playlist and view all the previous episodes in the series to see how we've got to where we're at today. So, on this beautiful sunny morning, we will be saying goodbye for now, but I'll be back again very shortly with the next episode. Goodbye for now.